Hi friends, my name's Andrew. Thanks for clicking on this video. This is the first of many, I hope. Um, Today I want to speak about fear and self-imposed limitations. I have been in the midst of this spiritual awakening, you might call it, for the better part of over a year now, and I've had many life-changing events take place. I'm not going to go into them all here today. Those will be for a different time. But the point is that I know there are people out there like me that are experiencing these things. Maybe you're one of them. And I wanted to start off by saying, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I'm not trying to be a teacher. I'm not trying to be your guru. I'm just trying to share what I know is my truth, because I know others are experiencing it and I don't want them to have to go through what I've gone through. I've seen so many creators out there saying these same things, that you're the only thing that's in your way. You're what's holding you back. Take that down. Let that little voice that keeps doubting go. You might have heard, if you're into meditation techniques, the idea of watching a leaf float onto a river and then gently drift away, or clouds passing over the horizon. Same sort of thing with the fear. You can acknowledge it. You need to see it. You need to stop labeling it as a bad thing. I'm trying myself to move through this duality of good and bad, and see every experience as a needed and necessary experience, one that was meant to help us move forward, even if we don't see it in the moment. And when we start saying things are good and bad, we start negating all of these experiences that could have positive impacts on us. And I've experienced many of those myself, and we need to experience these things to learn and grow. That's why we're here. But the point is that when we try to use the intellect to distinguish what is wrong and right, not from a moral standpoint, but what we should be doing with our lives and our direction, we tend to get in our own way. So back in September, it was Friday the 13th of last year, I had a massive Kundalini awakening. I felt the energy surge through my body. I had a very intense vision. It was completely spontaneous, just in a regular meditation, that this occurred. And I'll go into the details of all that later as well. But a lot came out of that. And I thought I knew everything there was to know that came with that awakening. And that was very arrogant of myself to think that way. Even after a long period of time, I thought, okay, well, that's all the lessons there were to learn. But then this last Friday the 13th, which was the first Friday the 13th since then, was 39 weeks out, which is actually 3 times 13 is 39. It was one of many synchronicities that sounds trivial and small at first, but when you weave the tapestry together, you start to see the pictures forming. And it's just this moment of rebirth. In the tarot deck, 13 represents death, and people who aren't familiar with it sometimes tend to think of that as a bad thing, a bad omen. But really, death is a rebirth and a beginning, a renewal, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. There are many forests that need fire to help clear the landscape and revitalize the seeds, and provide new nutrition for the earth. It's a cycle that we humans label good or bad, but it's just cyclical, and we need to embrace that. And these last 3 days since the 13th, it felt like this rebirth for me, and it's finally confronting this fear I've had. What if I don't make the content I'm trying to make in the right way? What if I say something wrong? What if I stumble? What if I look stupid or silly? And those are all what ifs. People are going to judge me. People are going to think what they're going to think, but I can't change that. I can only change what I do and what I think. And letting random people out in the world who I'll never meet stop me from living my life is actually kind of crazy when you think about it. So really, I'm stopping what I want to do based off of what someone else might do, which is insane. So I'm naming that fear, and I'm moving through it. What if this isn't perfect? That's fine. It's not supposed to be perfect. How this lands is how it is supposed to land. Who sees this video is who's supposed to see this video. The encounters we have are the ones that we're supposed to have. The intellect thinks we need to plan all of these things out, but we don't. We just need to let go and trust. And that's what my oracle cards have been saying for weeks, months now. Trust, trust, trust. And I keep, look, I'm trusting, but I was really not trusting because I wasn't doing this. I wasn't taking the plunge. I wasn't putting myself out there. And that stops now. I'm putting myself out there. I am shining my light and saying what I need to say. And again, I'm not trying to convince you of what I am saying is the truth. My truth won't be your truth, and your truth might not be my truth, and that's perfectly fine because that's exactly how it is supposed to be. We are all one. We are all interconnected. We all are part of this larger ecosystem throughout all of existence. And we're all supposed to be unique, and that's the beautiful part of it. We're all supposed to be different. None of us are supposed to be perfect. If we were perfect, this world would be so boring and bland we wouldn't want to be here. We're here to be different and to experience different things and to learn different things so that we can share those not just with ourselves, but with those around us, and expand and grow as a species, as a consciousness. And that's where I think we're headed. So, like I said, this may or may not have resonated with you, and if it didn't, maybe it will later. Maybe a seed has been planted, and if only one person finds this message helpful, then I'm happy with that. And even if no one else resonates with this, that's fine, because again, this is what I need to say. This is just the start. I hope you will join me on this journey, not just for me, but for you as well. So I invite you to follow along. If you found this video useful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to learn more when we move along, and drop a comment and we can chat. And I hope to see you in the next one. Namaste.